What's up, homies? Welcome to another episode of the Homeys Real Estate Podcast. This is your host, Anthony.
I'm Angel.
I'm a realtor.
I'm a lender.
And hopefully together we can break down what's happening in today's crazy real estate market. We got a really good one for you. It's not just the beginning of the month, but it's the beginning of the second half of the year. So we're going to go over June's numbers and then recap the first half of 2021. And we got some crazy news to go over today. So as usual, we're going to go rocket rounds. Just quickly recap the numbers for Los Angeles County. So the median sales price for homes in Los Angeles County increased about $13,000 since last month and is up $110,000 since January of 2021. When we look at active listings, it's increased about 1,000 more active listings, which is good news for buyers, but we're still 24.6% less than what we had a year ago. And pretty much for the first half of the year, we were at a shortage of listings, right? That's the big story in the real estate market, not just here in Los Angeles County, but nationwide. Now, when we look at median days on market, it's about 9 days on market. So this half of this year, March 2021, moving onwards, is the first time we've ever broken 10 days on market or less. When we look at inventory month supply, this is really important to determine whether we're in a buyer's market or seller's market. Inventory month supply basically states this is how long it would take for the active listings that are on the market right now to be sold if no more listings were put on the market. Right now we're looking at 1.9 months. So this is the first time also as of February 2021 that we broke that 2.0 mark. In a balanced market, we're talking about 5 to 6 months. So yes, we're in an extreme seller's market, but we're ticking upwards. We were at 1.7 in May 2021. We're now at 1.9 months as of June 2021. Now, the biggest story of all, nationwide, and especially here in Los Angeles County, is the crazy close transaction volume we're having. So we broke a record again. This is about the fourth time this year we broke a record for highest close transaction volume. Basically, how many home sales they were and how much do those home sales amount to. We're looking at $17.1 billion in closed volume in June 2021. To give you a comparison, last June, we were talking $8.3 billion. So we more than doubled the inventory or the closed volume we had a year ago. And at the highest peak that we ever had in the last 5 years was June 2017. We're talking $12.5 billion. So, I mean, we're absolutely crushing closed volume in Los Angeles County right now. So, Angel, let's bring you into the story. What is the biggest story for you for this first half of the year?
There's a lot to go over. I think just the fact how short homes been on the market, how much homes have increased, this shows that, again, we stress this every podcast. If you feel you're ready as a buyer to buy something, it's important to jump on it because you can see homes have been appreciating like crazy, $110,000 since January. That's average, right? So that's phenomenal appreciation. And the crazy thing is I don't think we're done yet. I think it's going to continue to appreciate over the next 6 months to a year, maybe even longer than that.
Absolutely. Angel nailed it right there. So a lot of experts, Zillow, Redfin, are predicting appreciation moving forward. However, we are going to start slowing down in appreciation. I don't think we can continue at this abnormal pace. 1 year ago, the median sales price for June 2020 was $660,000. 1 year later, $830,000. That's a $170,000 increase. That's a 25.8% increase. Essentially, if you bought a home 1 year ago, you would have over 20% equity already just by purchasing a property. We can't maintain this abnormal pace, but we can expect home prices to continue to trend upward just because, why, Angel? We have extremely low interest rates, right?
Exactly.
And because we have low inventory levels and a lot of buyer demand. So here's some tips and tokens for you to take back, okay? Right now, we have extremely high demand for homes. We're talking we need about 5.5 to 6.8 million homes, according to the National Association of Realtors, to fulfill our current demand. and we're not building enough homes right now. And real estate is all about supply and demand. If there is not enough supply and too much demand, we can expect prices to go upwards. So it's gonna take some time to fulfill that demand moving forward.
And
Angel,
just so you
go
know
ahead.
too, there's about like people say, oh, the forbearance and foreclosure is gonna help. There's gonna be more homes on the market, right? There's only 2 million homes right now in forbearance, a little over 2 million. So that's like half of the demand that we need. So the forbearance, and that takes a process. That's a process too, just to get your home foreclosed upon. It's not easy, but that alone, let's say if it was 2 million, which it's not gonna be 2 million, but let's say it was, we're still short a lot of homes in the United States. So the forbearance and foreclosures aren't going to solve our low inventory problem.
That's a really good token to take away right there as well, right? So we're talking 5.5 to 6.8 million homes. We need more, and according to Angel, we can only expect about 2 million homes to hit the market from forbearance.
No, not to hit the market. I'm saying there's currently 2 million homes in the United States in forbearance.
Oh, in forbearance. So they
So
might.
the ones that hit the foreclosure, I don't even think it's going to be 50%. So I'm just saying, if all homes right now in forbearance did hit the market, we would still be in a deficit as far as homes needed to keep up with the
Interesting.
demand.
Okay, that's good to know. Absolutely. The another big story is also the active listings, right? So since the pandemic pretty much occurred, people were very reluctant to list their properties, and there's a lot of good reasons why, right? People weren't comfortable having people in their property. People weren't sure what the processes were for listing a property and selling their property during the coronavirus economy. But now that the economy is starting to open up, we're starting to see a shift, especially nationwide. For some reason, Los Angeles County, things are starting to move a little bit slower real estate wise, just because it is a really hot market. But nationwide, we are starting to see a lot more listings hitting the market. So when we look at new listings in Los Angeles County, we're pretty much on par with what we've seen the last 5 years, within 1,000 new listings here, either greater or less, which is really good news. That means that we're starting to get the same activity sellers wise that we used to have. And we are also starting to see mortgage applications drop, right, Angel?
Correct. That is correct.
So, what does that mean? That means that we're starting to shift a little bit more towards a balanced market, which is a really good news for buyers. Angel, I quickly want you to touch on how interest rates have changed throughout this 2021 so far.
Um, I mean, obviously in general, the rates have been great. What I can tell you is it's a volatile market right now in a sense, right? Beginning of the year, we saw extremely low, historically low. Don't think we're ever going to get that low again, interest rates. And then there was a shift to a little bit of a higher interest rates, but they were still low. Like again, all the rates right now are low, but it's just comparing from one time period earlier in the year to the middle of the year. It's just they went up a little bit, right? And then over actually the last 2 weeks or so, we were expecting, a lot of experts were expecting rates to, slowly start creeping up. Forbearance is coming to an end. The economy is opening up. But to our surprise, rates are actually have been trending down the last 2 weeks, right? But along with the rates trending down, how Anthony said, mortgage applications have also trended down these last 2 weeks. Again, market's volatile. I don't expect the rates to continue to trend down. I'm expecting, not for the worst in that way, I mean like rates are going to jump crazy, but I expect rates to climb up. That's my prediction. But it's proven me wrong right now. Rates have been getting better, which is a good thing for buyers, but also if people, as it slowly starts to hit news and people start to realize rates are also are dropping again, I would also expect mortgage applications to continue to rise again. Right.
Gotcha. That makes absolute sense, Angel. So I quickly want to give one last takeaway, just recapping this year, and then I want you to give one last recap of your own, right? Mm-hmm. So my recap.
It is 6 months, you mean?
Yeah, so for the 6 months, for the first half of 2021. So the biggest takeaway that I want everyone to know is that it isn't necessarily about the cost or the price of the home. The most important thing is the cost of the home. So I know a lot of people get caught up on we have record prices. They're a lot higher than we've ever seen. But there's a lot of affordability indexes that state that in previous years, when prices were a lot less, it was actually more expensive to own a home. Not just because of the cost of goods and everything around us, but also because interest rates were a lot higher. So your payment for your home was actually higher than what it is right now because interest rates are about 1% less than what we've seen in the past. So as long as a home is comfortable and you can make that payment, I absolutely recommend you do so. Again, we don't anticipate prices going down for the foreseeable future. We just have too much demand and not enough supply. So once you get to a place where you're comfortable enough and you have 6% of the purchase price saved up, so let's just say for a $700,000 home, that's about $42,000 saved up, you're good to go, right? As long as you can make those payments comfortably. Angel, what's your takeaway?
I think one thing I've actually spoke with two clients in the last week is they talked about how they're waiting that that they have gotten pre-qualified in the past and their income was an issue, right? So their income has increased, right? But with their income increasing, so have home prices, right? So one thing I would suggest to buyers is who are looking to purchase their first home, don't look at your first home as your forever home, right? Look at it as a asset to leverage, right? So in the future, where you can take that equity you built on that first home that hey maybe you didn't love, but you were willing to live there for the next couple years, the next few years, and from there take that equity and purchase a home in a better area or purchase a bigger house that you want, and just take that equity and let it do what it does for the next few years and leverage it to be where you want to be, right? Because it's impossible to save 20% down. By the time you save 20% down for a home, the home prices are going to increase 10-15%, right? It's a lot of money. So that's something I would definitely suggest is try to purchase if it's possible, right? Try to purchase what you can right now and then use that property as leverage in the future to get where you want to be.
Absolutely. That's a really, really key takeaway. So that wraps up the first half of 2021 for Los Angeles County. It was a crazy year. I don't know if we can ever expect a crazy appreciation year like this ever again. Again, $110,000 in 6 months. We're talking about $20,000 a month almost in appreciation. Like, that's ridiculous. So that's our recap for the first half of 2021. If you want to listen to Orange County 2021, we're going to recap that one after. If you want to take a look at these charts, they're always on our YouTube channel and always on our website. And I think they're really, really insightful so you can see it for yourself. All right, with that said, I want to wish you all the best. Take care and stay safe, y'all.
Thank you.
Hey, homies, it's Anthony. This podcast contains my opinions and is for educational purposes only. It does not guarantee any projections and should not serve as a basis for any purchase or sale in real estate.